Hey everyone, this is my 2024 Mustang GT, and I just wanted to do a 2,500 mile review. Got the car back, I don't know, mid-February or so, and I've put on a little more than 2,500 miles at this point. Just kind of wanted to cover some of my thoughts on the cars, pros, cons, etc. So a little bit about it. It is a 300A base GT. There's only two options on this one. It has these wheels, these 19-inch, I believe they're called Premier polished wheels, and then also it has an automatic transmission. So yeah, those are the only two options on this particular one. As you can see, it is finished in the vapor blue metallic exterior color, which is absolutely stunning in my opinion. Has a ton of depth to the color, and it looks really nice in my opinion. Has a nice metallic flake, kind of shifts coloring depending on the angle, depending on the sunlight. In person it looks a little purplish almost on this side, but on the other side it was looking pretty blue, and then on a gray day it'll look even kind of gray, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of these wheels, I do really like them. I think they look pretty good. I call them the Patrick Star wheels. As you can see, not sure if we'll be able to catch the metallic flake here, but looks really nice with this background. The mountains off Snoqualmie Mountains, actually, over in the Seattle area. Let's take a quick look under the hood. This one. Thankfully for this generation, they now have hood struts as standard, which is awesome. As you can see, here is the 5-liter. In this configuration, without the active exhaust, it's putting out 480 horsepower and then 415 foot-pounds of torque. Really like how they dress up the engine bay. It's a kind of a fake carbon fiber finish, but it looks pretty good. One thing is, with this actual functional hood vent, does get a little bit of water seepage in there and does get a little dirty, as you can tell. And one of the main reasons why I got this car and the 300A and not something else is mainly I got a really good deal on this car. So I got it for so this one's stickered at 45,500 something after its options, and then I managed to get it for $40,000, and then also a $750 college credit. So essentially it was $39,250 for the actual price of it. In terms of the pros, just overall looks, I get that looks are subjective, but I think that it looks pretty awesome for this redesign. One of my favorite angles is kind of this rear hip view. Not sure if the camera really catches it really well, but it really shows some cool width. Again, about this exhaust, it sounds decent. It's got decent tone. It's not super loud, but it's enough. It does look a little weak in my opinion, just having dual tips. Wish that they had stuck with the quad tips from the 2018 through 2023 models. In terms of the base brakes on this one, as you can see, it has Brembo in the front. Not sure if that'll really capture it. Brembo in the front, and then just off-brand Ford caliper in the back, which is decently big. I believe it's single piston in the back, 4-piston in the front, and it's a decent braking system for what it is. It's not insane, but it will bring you to a stop with plenty of room to spare, in most cases anyways. I don't know about tracking it or something like that, but in terms of just regular usage, it does just fine. The gas mileage is really not too bad on road trips, with a caveat of it's not great around town. I'm seeing somewhere in the realm of 24 or so on little road trips that I've done, and then around town anywhere from 15 to 19, depending on how aggressive you're driving and different factors. such as that. Some other cool stuff is in terms of the interior. Let's pop this open real quick. I really do like the space. These are these base seats. This is the again, the 300A. A pro is that it's relatively comfortable as it is. A con is that the lumbar, it does not have any lumbar support, which is slightly uncomfortable. I'm a little bigger, I'm 6'4", 200 plus pounds, and you're not having that is not super cool. It has a ton of space overall in the front seats, also in the trunk, which I'll show here in a second. These are also manual seats, they are not powered. The steering wheel in this car is very nice. I really like it. I like the flat bottom. It's got a high quality leather and it feels really nice in the hand. It's nice, big, chunky. Overall, the tech as well. A lot of people kind of give gripes about these screens. As you can see here, there is a gap in the middle since this is a non-premium model. I don't personally mind. It's the same actual screen as the other ones, functionality wise. It's just, it doesn't have that magnesium wrap around and kind of cohesiveness. These screens are high quality. I'll show them a little bit later. They have good color contrast, graphics. They use the Unreal Engine, I believe, and yeah, they do some really cool stuff with that. One other thing is the bass sound system that this car has. I believe it actually looks the same. It has 2 speaker grills there. There's one here in the pillar. I don't believe that one's active. And then there's also a couple here in the rear on the deck tray, as you can see. The bass sound system, the 6 speaker, is pretty solid for what it is. I would assume that the 9 speaker is a little more full, a little better in terms of things like that, but outside of that, it's pretty solid for what it is. Good clarity, good volume, decent bass for, again, just what it is. There's some really cool, surprising luxury features on this. Well, I'll call them luxury features, such as the intelligent access, where you can just walk up to the car, put your hand behind this door handle, and it will unlock, or you can also lock it by pressing the little lock button there. It has rain sensing wipers in the front, and in general the entire Ford Copilot suite of things outside of it does not have the adaptive cruise control, which so far I haven't really missed too much, but it is stop and go and more advanced on the Mustang, so that's definitely cool. And I did have it on a 2021 F-150 and I really did enjoy the system, so I missed that a little bit, but not having it, can't really tell. It has the same headlights, taillights as the other cars. You're not missing out on swiveling or anything like that. It doesn't have swiveling in general. Same signature lighting. Let me do a quick unlock here. And also, speaking of the headlights, they're very good. They project really well at night and really shine the road up in front of you, yeah, just fine. So as you can see, there's the unlock animation, and it's the same as all the other Mustangs. So this one does, since it does not have the night pony package, it does have these chrome surrounds within each headlight, which is, I think it looks pretty good. It kind of adds a little more contrast, and especially to a car that's a little lighter like this. I kind of like the contrast of those chrome things there. Also the badging on the side, which is not completely chrome. It's not chrome at all, actually. It's more of like a satin aluminum finish. But it's has a little black piece there in the middle, and then also in the back, similar styling on the GT badge. And then it has the My Color in the screens and a couple other things that, yeah, just pretty decently equipped for what it is, for being, again, a base car, a base GT anyways. It does have that V8, but yeah, some cons and stuff. On the interior, so since this is a base, it does not get, this is going to be hard. I believe you have to get a 401A or a car with the performance pack to get the nicer padding there, and then the stitching. Not totally sure on that, but that's what I recall. Also on these doors, this panel is hard touch on these. I believe you have to get a premium for that. And also, just in general, because of all these hard touch plastics, these rattle a whole bunch. Like up in here, I'm constantly hearing rattles, and on the other side as well. Up in the dash a little bit. For example, there's where one of the other speakers would be for the 9 or 12 speaker system. that little piece rattles quite a bit. Again, the rear deck lid here, this plasticky piece there also rattles quite a bit. As you can see, in this one, we only have the single zone climate. It is auto and it is 3-stage, but it is only single zone, which if you get a 301A, you would get the dual zone climate as well as heated seats in the front here. Well, I don't know why you need them in the back, but you'll get the heated seats in the front, no cooled seats. And then also in a premium, you'll get a heated steering wheel, whereas you will not get that heated steering wheel in this one. The climate control only being on the screen, speaking of that, is a little tedious, can be a little hard to push, especially when you're moving. You can kind of rest your hand on, you know, one of these trim pieces, which one gives it fingerprints. But you can use that, but it still kind of moves around, and having a knob would be nice in my opinion. In general, also, this audio system has some really random glitches where you'll turn up the volume, you'll turn on the parking brake, something like that, and it will just kind of spaz out and make some weird electronic noises and then kind of come back to reality. As you can see, this is the recently announced 60th anniversary gauges on here. They do look pretty nice in my opinion. I don't really like the Fox body gauge, that's an unpopular opinion of mine, but I do really like these. I believe they're calling them the classic style gauges. So I really do like these, have used them a decent amount. Sometimes when remote starting the car, either via the app or via the key fob, it will just, the pre-collision assist will not work. I don't know why. Typically a restart just regularly would fix it, and it doesn't always happen, but it does happen maybe 50% of the time. Going over the center console real quick, there is no light within it. The light that you're seeing in there is just from these overhead lights. I believe the 301A and up get that, but this one does not, but it is pretty spacious, and you do have a 12 volt in there and a little bit of storage solutions, I guess. In addition, the glove box is perfectly adequately sized. It's nothing too big, nothing, it's fine size wise. Also, it does not have a ton of piano black plastic, the shiny black plastic. You can see it does have it right here, and as you can see, it's very prone to picking up smudges. Also, these chrome door handles are also pretty bad about picking up smudges. That's something to keep in mind for sure. Something else that I've noticed that is an interesting issue, mine is a pretty early build car. It was built in around September of 2023, so not one of the earliest ones, but not long after that. And this piece is kind of rattly, as you can see. The other side is not like that. It is perfectly fine. It's built in there really well. So this one's a little loose, not sure if just kind of reinstalling that would fix it or what I could do to take care of that. It is a little loud on the inside when you're driving around. This one does not have the sound screen acoustic glass. I think the premiums and up get it. It might be a 301A thing. I'm not totally sure on that. Also, the handling on this car just in general is not the greatest. Owning a Focus ST for a little bit there, I really enjoy the handling of that car, and I guess more go-kart-y. This of course has that great straight line power, but too fast on a wide new road, and it's a little bit of a boat and kind of a little sloppy, I guess I would say. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the trunk here. And as you can see, I still have this license plate bracket, which I'm not going to install because I didn't want to drill into it. It is a decent sized space. Also really like this mat, helps keep things clean, and also not sliding around. Now, one gripe that I have with cleaning the car is there tends to be soap buildup in here, and it just kind of comes down when you're washing the car from here, and it's really hard to get that out. Even if you just put like the hose right there and spray it on it, it still just kind of sits here and it doesn't really move. It just sits there, and then you basically have to go in and get a sponge or a rag or something and kind of get it out of there with the trunk open, which of course is a little sketchy if you're trying to wash the car and keep the trunk closed. But yeah, so that's one thing to note. In terms of the back end and just looks, this wedge spoiler I like. I think it's pretty clean on this car. I also really like this angle. As you can see right there, I think it gives it a really pronounced look, and just overall looks pretty amazing from a rear end styling perspective. Also really like the hips and how they show through there. I do have another one on order. I'm still not totally sure if I'll take that. I'll have to talk pricing with that. That car stickers for a little over 10,000 more than what this car stickered for. Again, as mentioned, I got this car for about $40,000 plus a college credit. So I got a really good deal on the car, and it would be pretty hard to get that same deal on my custom order one. We'll see. But even with that being said, to have the custom ordered one, and for what you get with the premium and the 401A package and all those niceties that are there, not totally sure if, to me personally, it's worth the extra money. The big ticket items that I really would like are, of course, the heated cooled seats, the dual zone climate. Is that worth $10,000+ to me? I don't really think so, but we'll see and see what they can do pricing wise. But yeah, most likely I'll be keeping this car for the short term, and yeah, really enjoy the car. And definitely, with any of the gripes that I mentioned, I don't mean them as a complete I hate this car, but rather it's still an awesome car and I really do enjoy it. I always am looking forward to driving it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Until the next one.